Let's react to you guys' hot takes entering the college football 25 season. I ain't gonna lie, y'all was coming with some hot takes. Y'all was coming with some bangers, man. We're gonna talk through it, man. The season starts this week. It's already upon us, man. It's already upon us. Drop any hot takes down below. Let's talk about it in the comment section. If y'all enjoyed this content, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all, boys. I want to do more content like this, just talking about the sport, so we will. Let's hop in. First hot take. Ty Simpson wins the Heisman, man. And that's a hot one. That is a hot one. Ty Simpson, if y'all don't know who that is Alabama's starting quarterback, former 5-star quarterback, man. Buddy already saying here, that's not happening. Kid's not that good. The thing about Ty Simpson, like I said, he's a 5-star. He couldn't beat out Jalen Milroe for the starting job over the last 2 years. And that's not really a knock on Ty Simpson. But I think it's way more, obviously, we're looking at their roster just to get an image of how their team looks. You know, the roster is not super accurate to how good these guys actually will be, especially at the start of the year. You know, Ty Simpson could go out there and win the Heisman. It's possible. Will he do it? I think it's way more likely for the young lion, Ryan Williams, to go out there and, you know, be in the running for a Heisman. I think that's way more likely, man. And it's a quarterback, receiver, and Ryan Williams already got all the hype. He's on the cover. Everyone knows his name. You know, for Ty Simpson to win the award above him, he would have to go out there and have an amazing year. And guess what? We seen an Alabama receiver win the Heisman. My guy, Devontae Smith, man. I'm an Eagles fan if y'all don't know, man. Before y'all click off, I'm an Eagles fan. But we seen it happen at Alabama. I think it's way more likely for, you know, Ryan Williams to go get that award over Ty Simpson. You know, and it's possible. It's possible. I think it's also tough when you see a guy like Kean Russell, who is a former 5-star quarterback, entering the program. It's tough when you may be looking over your shoulder every errant throw you make. You know, at any time you can get pulled from the game because you know you have a certified quarterback behind you. And man, I shouldn't say certified because he's a freshman, but a guy with a lot of potential pretty much behind you. And, you know, he's a freshman, Ty Simpson, a junior. You know, will Kean Russell want to wait 2 years? We see it happen. Arch Manning did it, but everyone don't want to do it. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I am expecting big things from the Crimson Tide this year, but we'll have to see. Our next hot take, Colin Simmons enters the transfer portal. If y'all know who that is going to be the star defensive edge rusher from Texas, man. And he had a very good season as a true freshman, man. Come over here and look at his stats. He picked up 9 sacks as a true freshman. 3 forced fumble, also an interception, 48 tackles. He is a very good edge rusher, man. He's on pace to be, you know, a 3 and done type guy, maybe even, you know, a top 5 draft pick, a phenomenal player. Him entering the portal, I mean, you never know these days. What I will say is I feel like the portal is going to start to die down more and more, especially with some regulation coming to college football when it comes to rev share. I think you're going to have less guys transfer every year compared to over the past couple seasons. The number just only went up. So we might at some point see that number start to go down. But how do this affect a guy like this, man? I don't, you know, obviously in the video game, he transfers like every year, man. In college football 25, 26, every offseason he enters the portal for playing style. And I guess it's because he's not getting enough sacks at Texas. In real life, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I don't know if I see it happening, but anything's possible in the world of college football. Definitely a hot take, but it depends on what type of season Texas has. Next hot take, Colorado wins 4 games, 4 ball games. And what them boys do, what, 9 wins, 8 wins last year, man? Colorado lost everything in this last offseason. They lost so much. The Heisman Trophy winner. You know, you lose your star quarterback. You lose your whole entire offensive line. I think they're going to have a brand new offensive line except for that left tackle, Jordan Seaton. A D-line also will look different. Corner situation will look different. Like, this is going to be a very different program. 4 wins, though. Let's look at their schedule, man. Only 4 wins. I think I struggle, man. I don't think they'll have as good of a season as last year, and that's expected, man. I don't want to say they peaked, but they damn near could have made their conference championship. They was in the running for that at the end of the year. 4 wins is tough, though. I don't know if they digress that much. Georgia Tech is always an easy one. Delaware, I think that's. I mean, come on. I think that's one is a definitely a dub for Colorado. Houston, not a great roster. Wyoming, you looking at a couple of dubs here, man. Obviously got some ranked teams here at the bottom. But last year, the Big 12 was really a question mark, man. The Big 12 was really a question mark. Teams that entered the year, everyone thought they was so high on them, and they end up having really bad seasons, and vice versa, man. Colorado was projected to win 4 games last season, and they ended up winning 8 or 9, one of them. So predicting the Big 12 has been difficult over the last couple years. I would definitely go over 4 games. I think they at least get 6. I think 7. If I had to guess, I'll probably say 7 and 5 is probably what they're looking like, man. They do obviously bring in the former 4-star, 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis. Caden Salters come over. We don't know who's their starting quarterback to start the year, but the roster is not terrible. They bring in a lot of transfers. It's not a bad team by any means, man. Like I said, only 4 wins. I think that's tough, man. I would take the over. Next hot take: Michigan goes 7-5. That's an interesting one, man. I feel like Michigan is getting a lot of hype, and I don't want to say I didn't understand it, but now I see why when I looked at their schedule. And let's go ahead and pull it up, man. When you take a look at their schedule, you kind of see why Michigan, is maybe a ranked team and also could have a solid season. So, starting off the year, Oklahoma is, that's a winnable game. That's a winnable game, man. Obviously, you got the true freshman quarterback, the number 1 player in the nation at quarterback, and he should be a pretty good quarterback option. You would assume your quarterback situation, your quarterback play will be better than last season. But you don't know for sure. You really don't. You don't know for sure. You got to wait until he gets out there play. And, good thing you get this buffer week. New Mexico State, they're probably not going to lose that game. But you get a little bit of buffer for him to get, his situation straight. And then you hit into Oklahoma, and that's going to be a big-time game. Then you get Central Michigan. That's going to be probably another easier opponent. The schedule is not all that tough. I could count the losses. 1, 2, Ohio State, Oklahoma. USC is a, damn near a toss-up. Nebraska, I think they'll probably beat Nebraska. We'll see what Matt Rule does this year and how they look with Dylan Raiola. But, Purdue, not a great roster. Northwestern, not a great roster. Maryland went 4-8 last year. Michigan State is obviously a big-time rival for them boys. Washington should be improved this upcoming year. Wisconsin, this schedule is interesting because, this team could literally be 10-2 and make the playoff and not have a great W in their win sheet, if that makes sense, man. Because they could beat, USC. They could beat also, Nebraska, but at the same time, those might not be good teams this year. So we'll see. 7-5. Like I said, I got to see it. I just got to see it, how they do this year, man. I really just got to see it. I think Michigan is a toss-up for me. I think, like I said, a lot of people are overhyping them. I just need to see how they go out there and do. 7-5, I'm gonna say that's a warm take. That's a warm take, man. I do lean towards them not ending the year being ranked. The next hot take: Arch Manning and Texas goes 8-4. That's gonna make a lot of people upset, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna make a lot of people upset. This is obviously one of the best rosters in the nation. You do have Arch Manning at quarterback, and I feel like people are either on one side. You either love Arch Manning, think he's the truth, think he's going to be the next best thing, or you're on this side where you got to see it to believe it. You might think he's overhyped. You might think it's all last name, whatever. I think I lie somewhere in the middle. Obviously last year, the last 2 years, he put up some solid film in very small sample sizes, and I just got to see it. Pulling up their schedule, Ohio State week 1 on August 30th is a hell of a matchup. That's a hell of a matchup, man. Then you get 3 straight wins. Then you get into Florida. We'll see what Florida is this year, how good they'll be. Then you get Oklahoma, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. They could be, 1 and whatever entering Georgia, or excuse me, however many wins and just 1 loss entering Georgia week, man. Get into Arkansas and Texas A&M. I'm not going to say this is a cupcake schedule at all because the SEC is never a cupcake schedule. But you don't get LSU. You don't get Alabama. You do get Georgia, who is a very, very good team. But you don't get, like I said, Alabama, LSU. I think those are really going to be some of the best teams, outside of Georgia and Texas and the SEC. So they do get a pass. And, obviously A&M is also a very good team with a very promising quarterback. So 8-4 is very possible in the SEC. Anything's possible in the SEC, man. Injury, and we don't wish injuries on anyone. But an injury could change so much for any program, man. And the thing about the SEC, you see a Vanderbilt game, and you're like, it's Vanderbilt, man. Historically, they haven't been a great team in the SEC. And, you sleepwalk into that 11 a.m. start. And next thing you know, you're in trouble. You down 16, you down 14. I don't know why I said 16. You down 14 at half. And, you in the dogfight, you end up losing. So it's no easy W's in the SEC. So, 8-4 is very possible. Do I think that's going to happen? I would say no, but I'm also just not as high on Texas as maybe the public and the rest of the population. I'm just not as high on them. I got to see it with this roster or also with this, Archman. I just really got to see what he's going to be against, Ohio State, against Florida, against Georgia, having them Bulldogs coming at you. That defense, you already know about that Kirby Smart defense. I just got to see it. Next hot take, man. Badgers fire Luke Fickell. This is an interesting one. He's entering, year 4 at this point. And, let's pull up the schedule, man. So, they don't have no walk in the park schedule. Last year they went 5-7, but we're talking about Alabama, Michigan. I don't want to say that's 2 losses, but that's 2 really tough wins. That's 2 really, really tough wins. Ohio State, Oregon. I got 4 fingers up for a reason. You're looking at damn near 4 losses. Indiana, Illinois, 2 ranked teams. You could win at least one of them, but you could legit be looking at another 6-6 season. You flip that and you go 5-7. Now we're talking about, potentially a guy on the hot seat. Obviously, I don't wish anyone to get fired. Do I think he'll get fired entering the year? I'm gonna say no. But it's a tough schedule, bro. It's really not a walk in the park schedule when you get Alabama as the non-conference and you still get all the big dogs in the Big Ten. That's a tough schedule this year, man. That's tough. I would say more of like a 6-6, and maybe he gets another year. Next hot take: CU wins 9 games. That's tough. That is tough, man. Kansas winning 9 games. That's tough. Looking at their schedule, they could definitely start off 2-0. Then you get Missouri. That's tough. That's a tough one, man. Then also Texas Tech, Kansas State. We'll see what Kansas State do this year, man. Also Iowa State, Arizona in between. 9 wins. There's also a team I believe went 6-6 last year, 5-7, something like that. They didn't have a great year, and also didn't make that much noise in the portal. 9 wins, I think, is a little bit steep for the Jayhawks. A little bit steep. Next hot take: Clemson wins the Natty. And I feel like this is not even a hot take, man. I feel like a lot of people are, putting their money on Clemson. Especially when you look at their schedule. Week 1 loss, they're gonna lose week 1 at home, to LSU. That's a given. That's a given. But outside of that, the rest of their schedule don't look that challenging. Like, am I tripping? SMU, come on, man. Clemson has a top 5 roster in the nation with also, probably a top 5 head coach. South Carolina down here at the end, but this schedule, Florida State had a really, really bad year last year. They'll probably bounce back, But like this schedule is really, you get Bill Belichick, but he's only in year one. The roster probably won't be that crazy. Fran Brown, Syracuse head coach, he's in year, 2 at this point? And, that's going to be a good team. I don't know if I see them losing more than one game to LSU. They could be 11-1 entering, conference championship week. So them winning the Heisman is really, or not winning the Heisman, winning the championship is really not a hot take. I think a lot of people are, seeing this Clemson team as elite, potential national championships, man. I think it's definitely possible. Last one for the day, and y'all let me know if y'all want me to do another version of this. Just drop y'all hot takes and we will. But last one I want to go over is Liberty makes the playoffs. Liberty is a team that's been dominating low-key, man. They've been dominating. They've been solid. They do lose their quarterback, who is pretty good, Caden Salters. He's definitely pretty good. But I believe they're bringing like Coastal Carolina quarterback in the transfer portal to be their guy now. But looking at their schedule, it's like, I know they lost to Kennesaw State last year, but I think they was undefeated going into that Kennesaw State team, man, or Kennesaw State game. This is a team that could definitely win 10 games, 9 games, and backdoor their way into the playoffs. They probably need to get 11 wins, 10, 12 wins to really get into the playoffs maybe. We'll see how it shake up. But looking at the schedule, it's not crazy. Obviously, they in Conference USA, so it's not going to be a super crazy schedule. But this could be a group of 5 team making its way to the playoffs, man. I've seen some people picking Liberty also to make the playoffs, but we'll see, man. But that's all I got for y'all boys, man. If y'all enjoyed this, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, check out the Twitch. I appreciate y'all, and we on to the next one.